Hi, everybody, and welcome to the second episode for Lake Walt. Today, I'm pleased to tell you that I finally finished this little area right here, which is my take on Art Deco. And this has been in the making for about 4 weeks, if not longer, and it's been a real headache, to be honest. So I'm very glad that I can finally put this behind me. We have about 6 shops here, spread out over 7 buildings. And today I actually added these two, this weird looking cube right here, which is actually taken from one of the Disney um, Hollywood studios. Same for this one, by the way, this kind of black brownish fashion store, or dress up clothing, I should say, costume store, was also taken from the Disneyland studios. And then there's this wonderful building that can be found in France, um, in and around Nice, I think, which is doubling here as a first aid building. And there's actually a normal first aid black box in here. And so with that, we've completed today the seventh building of this little Art Deco corner. Just gonna hoover around so you can get a good feeling for this area. And as you can see, I've changed the movie posters from real life movies like Titanic and Gone with the Wind to these in-game billboards. And I think the four of them together, they kind of look like this is it looks like they're announcing a very exciting sort of Pirates of the Caribbean kind of movie. And so I think that works because this way we kind of keep the Blanco universe alive here. One of my concerns last time was that the moment you actually enter real life stuff, let alone real people, it just kind of breaks this Blanco universe. So it's a cheap solution, but it works. Then there's this building right opposite of the garage, the small little tour through the countryside. And well, you've already seen these two, haven't you? But just for the sake of completion, we'll hoover over all of them. There's some minor detailing going on the roof, just to give it that kind of backstagey feeling. I'm gonna do the same as I've been doing for the shops in the Main Street area, and just to bring it alive with garbage bags and trucks and everything at the kitchen sink. The cinema was actually a lot smaller in the beginning, and then I realized that there's no way in God's green earth that you can fit in 500 people if you have, or I don't know, 50 people, whatever, a big amount of people, if you have such a small little thing. So we have a building now. There's absolutely nothing going on the inside, but imagine there's a huge silver screen here in the back. It needs an emergency exit in the back, by the way, because it's it's kind of a semi-public building. So we'll have a emergency exit going from the back of the cinema that should take visitors through a beaconed off path right to this exit area. And then we just keep our guests safe. What else has changed is that this area is finally done. I would say this whole land is now as done as it gets. I may want to add some more signage, some lanterns, benches, the usual clutter. But other than that, I would say this area is done. Thank God, because it's been a real headache. Because to be quite honest, I think I've allocated much too much land for such a small ride. So this may change in the future. Sadly, the skyscraper, the skyscraper airplane ride is way too big because this was one of the first rides that Frontier delivered in the game when they released the game 2 years ago. And back then, the footprints for their flat rides were still gigantic, right? And they got the hint now, and they're actually downsizing the footprints for their rides. So Frontier, if you're watching, I do hope you want to revisit your old flat rides at one point. The Blue Baron has gotten its very own sign, which is a bit of a throwback to these 30s, 40s signs that you would see for aviation companies. And I just think it's a very distinguished sign. You know, it's very grand, but at the same time it has this brutalism take on it. You know, this enormous concrete wings, and combined with this delicate little wavy banner. I don't know. I just think it's really theme park. It works. It looks over the top, and just by looking at it, you know that these wings aren't actual concrete. Rather, they're made of wireframe and some sort of plastic, I guess, right? Some sort of plexiglass, I think is the word. So yeah, I think it just works. I think it really, really adds something to this area, and it just really tidies it up nicely. Then there's the waiting area, or the queuing area, sorry. Although waiting area is appropriate, as the signs as departures, which is just a little take to the whole aviation angle here. Now, of course, it's kind of a doomsday, kind of a horrifying entrance here. There's supposedly you're at gate number 12, and this is where you enter, but you'll be passing, I guess, the original Blue Baron, and his journey didn't end too well. So the narrative here is that it's up to you to get your Blue Baron safe on the airfield. On Walt Airport, as we can see right here, there's actually a control tower with a little guy inside doing absolutely nothing, but it just adds something. And I think it's kind of heavily themed area, but at the same time it's done on the cheap. And that's what I like about this park, is that there's a balance between super expensive, vast grounds and manicured lawns and oh shit, we got an aeroplane ride. Let's do some theming. So I think that really worked out well. This is a safety notice banner that you'll be seeing at the other rides as well. And it's just to kind of, just add some realism to the park. This is the thing that says you gotta be this height or else you're not allowed to enter. Then there are the usual signs, and there's a little prank in there for those paying attention. So, with that said, this area is now complete. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this stumpy end of the road. I'm thinking it'd be nice to actually see the train passing by, but then it needs a backdrop, otherwise you're just looking into vast space. So this could be something like a cardboard Hollywood sign, but then I feel it becomes a bit too American. Or I may just be doing some elaborate foliage work here and try to give it some degree of sophistication to kind of close off this part. Naturally, this is where the path will extend to in the future when we're doing an extension for the park. When that happens, though, I'll have to break this part open, for we will need more than one path to lead to the extended area, otherwise this is going to be a bottleneck. So probably this here will be broken open, and then I have no idea how that's going to meet, but we'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think there's much more to say for this update. I made some nice little screenshots that I'm gonna show you at the end of this video, and I think next time I hope to cover this area. It's about the green python, which finally got its own snake, by the way, which is kind of, it looks like it's taking over the station, and it actually spits smoke the moment one of the trains goes through the first looping. And last but not least, there's this station building, which I think is the epitome of genericness, but I very much like it. It needs its own signage. It needs some information board. There's some work to be done here. But overall, I think this area is coming together nicely. And my third update will probably be right in time for Halloween. So I guess it's going to be a combination of an update of the work done on this last remaining part and a cinematic trailer of Lake Walt during Halloween. That's it. Thanks for watching. I promise you it's going to be a lot longer next time, and take care. Bye bye. Thank you.